Okay, once we understand the container, okay, so we're going to move on to the layout. In Flutter, there are many different ways to specify layout. Okay, so let me go back to the official documentation. And if you look at the widgets, and there is something called layout. All right. So as you can see, they provide all the different ways to specify the layout. And then they also have, besides the layout, they also have, um, so it's under the layout here. Okay, so yeah, it's right here. So multi-child layout widgets. This is more complicated thing that you can group multiple things together, like using a grid, using like a flow, using a list view, all the different things. Okay, so here I just want to touch two things, the most important things. One is something called a column, and the other one is something called row. If you actually know this two well, you can pretty much build most of the things. So if you go back to the code, as we are adding new elements into the screen, um, I don't know if you notice that all the elements are placed automatically vertically one by one in sequence in the exact same order. So for example, if I added this image at the top, that's going to show to the top. But if I move this one below this text here, I save it, you can see that becomes second. So the reason they follow the order is because we are using something called a column. And then the column asks all the children to be vertically placed. So if you think a table column, right? So we go to images, think about this table. Column means vertical. Okay. This is one column. This is another one. This is another one. So that's why when we use a column, all the UI widget that you place under the column will be the same column and vertically. So in the code, you can see, go back to the scaffold. And then if you look at the body, the very first thing they use something called a center, which means that to center all the widget into the central location. And then that include the child immediately after that you have something called a column. So they decide to use a column as a default layout for the whole entire screen. And that's why under the column you have something called children, and you can include multiple widgets. And so once you put all of this one down here, that's going to become vertically aligned. Okay, so that's how column works, which you are already using. I would say most of the time the screens are based on some kind of a column setup or layout.